Hello everyone and welcome to another casual review. Today I thought it would be fun to sit down and play through one of my favorite Game Boy Advance games, Megaman Zero. I played this on my new Megaman Zero Legacy Collection that my sister-in-law got me for Christmas, and I was really excited about it. I do own the Game Boy Advance version of this game, the DS Collection, and now I have the Switch version. And I really do like the Switch version. It has a lot of cool features, like you can change a lot of the borders around the image. You can change the filters to make it like a CRT or a cleaned up version. There's unlockables and stuff like cards and images, things like that you would expect from a collection such as this. I actually am the kind of weirdo that really likes my image to be stretched out. As long as it fills up the whole screen, I'm happy. I don't know what to say. I'm the kind of guy that would play the original Game Boy games on the Game Boy Advance, but then I'd stretch the image out. I know that frustrates a lot of people because they like the pure pixel mode. You know, they want it to be exactly how it's supposed to look. But I would really rather have my image stretched out, as weird as that sounds. So Megaman Zero, I have never played any Mega Man X game before from that series, but this, as far as I know, this is like a continuation of that. Zero is introduced in Mega Man X. I would be interested in playing through that series someday. I know there's the collection on the Switch, so, you know, maybe after I play through this collection. My introduction of Mega Man Zero is actually kind of funny because I remember going to a childhood friend's birthday party, and he got Mega Man Zero 2 for his birthday, and it was just way too hard for him and me. Like, we were only maybe 10 or 11 at the time, but I really liked the original Mega Man. I have the Mega Man collection on the GameCube, and I just remember playing that all the time with my little brother. So I was really interested in the idea of Mega Man, and this idea of Mega Man Zero, like Mega Man with a sword and he can dash and wall jump, it all seems so cool to me. So he actually just gave me Mega Man Zero 2, and I just was persistent with it, and I just played it all the time until I actually mastered the game. I wouldn't say master, be able to play through Mega Man Zero. Even today, there's no way that I have mastered Mega Man Zero. After I played through the second one, I finally got my hands on the first one. I think it was from like just a used game shop or something like that, but I was able to finally get my hands on that one. As for the story itself of Mega Man Zero, it's an interesting premise, but it's not entirely fleshed out. That doesn't happen until later entries in the series, but it's just kind of setting up this world. This girl named Seal, she comes, I pronounce it Seal, I've never heard it actually said out loud before, but C-I-E-L, and so I pronounce it Seal. Anyways, she's like the leader of this rebel organization that they're fighting the tyranny of the Reploids, and I'm not exactly sure what a Reploid is. How I imagine is it's kind of like a android, like half human, half robot. That's what they look like anyway. So they rescue this Reploid named Zero, and he's just out, he's unconscious, and we revive him. And he doesn't really have much memory of his past, but Seal asks you to help out this rebel group against this tyranny that is Neo Arcadia, this group full of evil Reploids. But they think that they're doing good. They believe that they can just force everyone to be good and be this very oppressive force. They can force peace upon everyone, which is kind of an oxymoron when you think about it, but that's their stance. So they do think that they are in the right, but for the most part, most of the game is go on this mission, rescue these guys, go on this mission, destroy these missiles that are gonna launch, you know, help defend the base. Just a bunch of mission-based stuff that it's not like an overarching plot necessarily, just the beginning of the game and the ending of the game are the main plot points. Zero controls so good. This is the main appeal of the game series for me. I've always liked the fast-paced nature of Zero. He's got this sword, and most Mega Man games do not have like a melee weapon. And then he's got his typical pea shooter gun thing. He has a dash, he can wall jump, and then he can slide down the walls. It's just this really cool, quick, fluid motion. In Mega Man Zero, he also gets two other weapons. He gets like this little spear thing, and then the shield boomerang, and I never really touch these weapons. I know that the spear is actually secretly really, really good from what I hear, but I just want to use the Z-saber. I just want to use a sword. The shield boomerang, while in practice it's kind of cool, when you hold it and you charge it up, it deflects bullets, but it only deflects basic bullets. It doesn't deflect anything stronger than that. So most of the time, I end up not using it, and then you can throw the shield boomerang, and then it like does this big old loop around back to you. When you do hold down your attack button, you can do a little charge attack. For bosses, I feel like this sword charge attack is the best, because when you attack an enemy, it initiates iframes with them. For those of you who don't know, iframes are known as invincible frames. Think like when you're Big Mario and you get hit by an enemy. You know, when you're flashing and you can run over spikes and stuff for just a couple seconds before you can take damage again. Iframes like that are in most 2D games, actually. So Megaman Zero, if you get hit by a guy, you get a couple frames of invincibility, and the enemies do too. So when, instead of doing like a basic attack against enemies, you'll hit them once and activate their iframes, but it's better, you know, you're wasting 2 other attacks, you're wasting a lot of damage. So when the bosses have an opening, it's better to do like a charged big attack with your sword. In this one, you can also upgrade your weapons. This is kind of some like you build XP with a weapon, and I remember liking this a lot more in my memories, but in practice, I don't think I actually favor this kind of tactic. So let me explain. The more I would use my sword, I would upgrade to get different abilities. So my rank 1 of my sword, I just do a basic attack. My rank 2, I'll do 2 attacks, like one after another, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then I get 3, and it'll do 1, 2, 3. And then my 4 star, you know, I can charge up my sword better. My 5th rank, I can do this little, it's like a spin in the air with the sword. So as you use your weapons more, they get more and more powerful. In practice, this doesn't really work, because you can typically just go back and replay a level and just kind of grind out XP on your weapon to make it stronger. I think I like how they took this away in future games, but I guess... Well, did they take... I can't remember if they took it away in Mega Man Zero 2 or not, but I definitely liked it better in my memory than when I was actually playing through it again. There are ranks at the end of each mission. If you've played a lot of other video games, it's like the better you perform, the better rank you get. Like the quicker you do it, the less damage you take, the more guys you kill. You get a higher point until you get a grade at the end. If you don't die, typically you'll get a rank A. If you play the game flawlessly, you'll get a rank S. Ranks in this game, I don't feel really do anything. In the sequels, I think ranks give you actually some cool abilities, but in this one, it didn't seem to matter that much what rank I did get, besides self-satisfaction. This game, this collection does allow checkpoints, which is really, really welcome. I think the checkpoints are really, really convenient, really, really nice. If you end up losing all your lives and get a game over, you have to start the level over again. And it's just really inconvenient having to replay. I feel like that type of gameplay is really archaic. You might get some gatekeepers who think that it's better to play that way, and so you do have the option to turn that feature off. And then there also is an easier option, which I think is really nice for newcomers of the series. I think if you're playing Mega Man Zero for the first time, definitely turn on this easier mode. There's no shame in it. It's a really hard game, and I think it's a good entryway to get into the series. And then as you practice and you get better, you learn all the boss's moves, then you can probably play through the game on a normal difficulty, which is actually really a hard difficulty in my opinion. I did leave the checkpoints on with this collection. I just didn't want to replay through the level if I got a game over. It just... You know, life is too short to replay through levels over and over again, and it's just nice being able to pop right back to the beginning of the boss where you were at and try again. Especially for, I think this will be useful for the future sequels, Mega Man Zero 2, where your rank gives you better stuff. But if you get a lower rank than an A, then I think you lose out on some pretty cool abilities. So I think this checkpoint system will be nice, because if I die, I just pop back to that checkpoint and it doesn't count as a death, and so I'll still get my rank A. Another thing that can affect your ranks are elves. And so as you play through the game, as you play through levels, you can uncover these elves, and they give you certain boosts. Like these will boost your damage, this will boost your health, your vitality, this will make you faster. And you can, the more permanent effects of the elves, you have to give crystals, and this is the resource of the game. Think of this kind of like your coins, I guess. And so you feed your elves crystals, the really stronger ones, and they give you permanent boosts. However, if you have any of these elves activated, it will lower your score and it will lower your rank. So it's kind of frustrating because it's like, why would you punish me for, giving boosts to my guys? And it just is kind of frustrating because I wish I could use elves without any repercussions. I wish there was, at least a mode to do that. Maybe it's in the easier mode, but I feel like you're punishing me for trying to upgrade my guy, which is kind of frustrating. So I didn't use any elves until the very last level because I know that the final boss is really, really tough. Actually, all the bosses are pretty tough, but I feel like I have most of the boss's moves memorized at this point. I've played through the game multiple times, so I know all of the movesets pretty well. There was a little bit of a reminding curve, I guess you can call it. But I was able to play through most of the game without getting any game overs, without having to resort to going back to the checkpoint. Besides the final boss, man, he is so tough. Plus, he has these 2 phases, and even the first phase took me a long time to really master and get through. You just keep on going back to that checkpoint. And unfortunately, every time you come into the room with the boss, you have to go through this whole talking thing. You talk about ideals, like that. Leave the story stuff for the end after you beat the boss, because I don't want to click through that dialogue every time I attempt to fight this boss. I actually did keep trying to do the final boss without any elves, and I got so frustrated after about an hour, I ended up reloading my game back to the beginning of the mission, loading up a bunch of elves, and then going in, and I was able to do it my first try after that. But it's a tough boss. Besides the difficulty, I think the bosses look and animate really, really nice. They look so cool. They're always stapled in my mind, the appearance, the moveset, everything. I think they have really dumb names that I couldn't possibly remember, but when I see, like, the elephant guy who can, like, roll up and shoot at you, or, like, the ninja character, I think, I don't know, they're all just stapled in my mind. I think they look really nice. It's that kind of game where when they talk, there's a little image of the character speaking, like a still image. And I don't think that looks very well when it's blown up, but other than that, I think everything else looks really, really nice, even on the blown up screen of the Switch. It's kind of funny because I guess at one point or another I was raving about Megaman Zero, and so one Christmas my friend, I guess he listens to me, which makes me feel really appreciated, but in California he went to a Comic-Con or something like that and got me a Megaman Zero poster, which I still have yet to get a frame for, but I've just been holding on to it all these years because it's such a cool image, and I just really like the way that Megaman Zero looks. I can't tell if that's his hair or like a scarf or what's going on with him, but I think he just looks so edgy and awesome and cool. It's kind of funny because I guess I get gifted a lot of Megaman Zero things because one year for my birthday, my little brother gave me that DS collection too. So I guess I'm just known as the Megaman Zero guy, even though I'm not anywhere near as good as some of these people on YouTube are. I'll watch these YouTube people, they're pro players, just cruising through this final boss and just defeating him without a scratch, without having to use any elves or anything. It's crazy. So I am nowhere near as good as a lot of people, but Mega Man Zero will always have a place near and dear to my heart. This is a frustration that I have with most older games, but it kind of feels like right when the screen goes off of an enemy character, and then if you were to backtrack at all, that enemy character just instantly respawns, and so you'll be progressing, you'll see maybe like a life or something in the background, and then right when you move back and the screen goes back to an enemy that you had just defeated, it's like they're there and they hit you again, and so you just constantly have to be alert, which is pretty annoying, but I guess eventually you do get used to it. It's just a thing of its time, I think. I do like that the levels are all connected in some way. Like, you don't just have to replay a mission to access those areas. You could just leave the old resistance base that is kind of like your central hub, and you could navigate to most of these areas on your own. Granted, there's a couple areas that are blocked off until you access that certain mission that takes you to that area, but you could traverse around this place and it all feels so interconnected, like it's all one piece of land. Love the music of the game. It always gets me pumped up. I just love the whole aesthetic of this game. The pixel art is really, really nice. Like I said, I'm probably a little bit biased because I have played a lot of Mega Man Zero in my day, but I just think it's a great game, and I would definitely recommend playing it on casual mode if you've never touched Mega Man Zero before. I think you can get this collection for pretty cheap, actually. I see it around 20 bucks at retail prices quite often, so you can definitely pick it up if you like any of these Mega Man games. This is definitely very quick, very fast paced. You just feel feels so cool when you're just cruising through the level, slicing up robots with the sword. I would give it, this particular one, Mega Man Zero, a 4 out of 5. Well, guys, that should be it for now. Just a quick little game. It took me maybe about 3 or 4 hours to play through, and I want to bet a third of that was trying to beat the final boss, actually. So if you are really good at this game, you could just cruise right through. Otherwise, it'll be a good 4 or 5 hour experience, especially if you really abuse that checkpoint system, which I heartily recommend. Let me know if you have any questions, comments about this game. I'd love to hear from you, but that should be it for me. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!